You notice it in small moments. You wake up with a strange heaviness, even though nothing is technically wrong. You scroll, you work, you talk, you laugh, and yet something invisible is steering your life. It doesn't shout. It doesn't look like failure. It feels normal. And that's what makes it dangerous. Most people think they're making choices freely, but psychology shows that up to 95% of daily decisions are automatic patterns, not conscious decisions. And if you don't recognize those patterns, they quietly design your future for you. Today, we're exposing 10 psychological traps that are quietly controlling your life and how to break free. But first, a quick question. Have you ever promised yourself you'd change and then didn't? If that sounds familiar, you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to Mindshift Motivated because this channel isn't about hype. It's about understanding the mind that shapes your reality. The first trap is the comfort illusion. Your brain is wired to prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar growth. Neuroscience calls this loss aversion. You fear losing what you know more than you value gaining something better. The second trap is identity attachment. You don't act based on goals. You act based on who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who quits, your brain protects that identity. Changing feels like losing yourself. The third trap is overthinking disguised as intelligence. You replay conversations, analyze outcomes, predict disasters. But rumination activates the brain's threat network, not its problem-solving system. The fourth trap is external validation dependency. When your self-worth depends on applause, silence feels like rejection. Your nervous system links approval to safety, so you shrink to stay liked. The fifth trap is comparison distortion. Social media magnifies curated highlights and hides the messy middle. Your brain interprets that distortion as reality, and your motivation quietly collapses. The sixth trap is fear disguised as logic. You call it waiting for the right time, but often it's simply avoidance wearing a rational mask. The seventh trap is emotional suppression. You think ignoring feelings makes you strong, but suppressed emotion doesn't disappear. It leaks into irritation, fatigue, and numbness. The eighth trap is learned helplessness. After repeated failure, your brain stops trying. Psychologists found that perceived lack of control rewires motivation circuits. The ninth trap is instant gratification conditioning. Dopamine spikes from quick rewards weaken long-term discipline. Your brain chooses short-term pleasure over long-term meaning. The 10th trap is self-sabotage through familiarity. You unconsciously recreate emotional patterns that feel known. Now here's the deeper question. Why does your mind do this at all? Your brain evolved for survival, not fulfillment. It prioritizes safety over growth. Safety once meant avoiding predators. Today, it means avoiding embarrassment, rejection, and uncertainty. The mind cannot distinguish between physical threat and social threat, so your body reacts to criticism like it's a tiger. And when you understand that mechanism, something shifts. You stop fighting yourself. Breaking free starts with awareness. You can't change what you don't see. Instead of shaming yourself for procrastination, ask what feeling you're avoiding. Instead of blaming laziness, investigate fear. When you question a pattern, you weaken it. Curiosity rewires neural pathways. Growth feels uncomfortable because it threatens identity, but discomfort is not danger. You don't need to eliminate fear, you only need to move with it. Each small conscious decision interrupts autopilot. Each pause creates space for choice, and over time, those pauses compound. They build a new identity. You are not broken, you are patterned, and patterns can be redesigned. Brains remain plastic throughout life. The real freedom isn't motivation, it's awareness. When you see the trap, it loses power. When you name the fear, it shrinks. When you stop outsourcing validation, your confidence stabilizes. Silence no longer feels threatening. When you detach from comparison, your energy returns. You compete only with yesterday's version of you. When you accept discomfort as growth, risk becomes expansion. Your nervous system recalibrates. This is not overnight change, it's conscious repetition. And one day, you'll notice something different. The traps feel visible. You still feel fear, but it no longer decides. You still face uncertainty, but you interpret it differently. And that's the shift. From unconscious reaction to conscious choice. The traps were never your identity. They were learned protections. This is Mind Shift Motivated, and your life changes the moment you see your mind clearly.